Okay, this is the overview video for the lacto-vegetarian diet. I'm going to be talking about some of the restrictions on it and the history behind it. So we'll start with kind of the basic buildup of the diet. So the main part of the lacto-vegetarian diet, there is no really like caloric restrictions. Like there's nothing saying like, oh, you have to have this amount of carbs and this amount of grains or protein or whatever. It's mostly about taking out um, all animal products except for milk and dairy products, or dairy products in general, not just milk. Um, but this really actually has like quite a big history. Like most of these kind of like naturalistic diets started in ancient India with a lot of the Hindu people. It was a way for them to practice kind of like their non-violence thing, so not eating meat, but still a way for them to kind of like take in like the gifts of the land, basically. So like milk from cows and that type of thing. Um, Later on, we start to take it more from a health and scientific standpoint with Scottish physician George Cheney. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, but I have no idea. Where he looked at it to kind of look as to help different health problems, including obesity. Around the 19th century, we get a few German neuropaths, Heinrich Lachmann and Theodor Hahn, I believe is how you say their names. They took a lot more of a like strict look at this, and apparently got decently good results. They were like they swore by it, but they went like super restrictive with it. They said only raw vegetables, whole wheat bread, and then dairy products like milk. Um, but so theirs was like super restrictive versus some of the other ones, which are more like, okay, well, just cut out these things and we'll go from there. We then started to look at it a little more, like kind of started comparing it to vegetarian, the people who are vegetarian. So you had Elmer McCollum and Mikhail Hindihidi, I believe is how you say his name. Completely butchering that, I'm sure. We'll talk about him more later. He's kind of important. But they looked at it talking about how like the vegetarian diet is like super restrictive and not that really planned out well. Like it has a lot of holes in it. But they saw like the lacto vegetarian diet to kind of get the full spectrum while still cutting out that meat. So you have all the benefits of a regular diet and you're still kind of cutting out that meat. Hindi Hidi, a really cool story about him. During World War One, he kind of became the like governor of food, like food advisor to the Danish government during World War One. And so he pushed the lacto vegetarian diet to help spare kind of meat and alcohol and those type of things. It was actually, it had this like really, really cool effect. So during the time that he was like the food advisor, I think it was like 1917 to 1918, they saw severe drops in mortality and morbidity rates. And I believe it was a 34% drop in mortality rate and had the lowest ever recorded mortality rate ever reported in Denmark. It was like wild. Then kind of later on, just like some notable like lacto vegetarians. Obviously, the biggest one was Gandhi, which even he though was he talked about it, and he was like, "Oh well, I've tried to give up milk, but I can't," which is kind of funny that Gandhi didn't have the like fortitude to do it. But overall, like it actually has like a pretty cool little history and life behind it. There's some really interesting pieces and kind of points in its history, but I really enjoyed learning about this.